Hi, I'm Valerie with Now Gardening, and today I'm here to review the Bosch ALB 36Li and to show you how it works. I'm not sponsored or compensated by Bosch in any way, so this review is based purely off of my own personal experience with the machine. And before we get started, if you haven't already joined me for garden tips and tools, please click on that subscribe button down below. Now let's get started. The Bosch ALB 36Li is a lightweight, battery-operated leaf blower. Now, as you might already know, the majority of Bosch's home and garden tools operate off of an 18-volt battery. And as a rule, I always stick to the 18-volt battery line so that I can interchange the batteries and I can extend my overall working time. But in the case of the leaf blower, the 18-volt battery is simply not strong enough. It will only give you about 10 minutes of working time. And this was simply not enough for my outdoor surfaces. So I went with the 36Li model, which is supposed to give you around 25 minutes of battery time. Now I'll go more into that in just a moment. But first, moving on to price, the Bosch ALB 36Li is around 200 euros or around 200 pounds. And here, the 18Li version might start to look more attractive at half the price. So make sure you take into account the battery time that you will need for your outdoor surfaces. Also, one thing to look out for, especially if you're looking to purchase this online, is that sometimes they are sold without the battery. So if you see a price that is much lower than the 200 euros or 200 pounds that I mentioned, then make sure that you check and see if the battery is included. But one thing to know, if you're looking to replace the battery or to buy it separately, the batteries run about 150 euros or 150 pounds. Now moving on to the main specs, it measures in centimeters at 92.5 times 15 times 20.5. Plus side for someone my size is the weight. This is very lightweight and maneuverable. If you look at the Bosch specs, it'll show you that the leaf blower weighs 1.9 kilos or a little bit over 4 pounds. Now that is without the battery. And you should know that this battery is not as lightweight as you would think. This battery actually weighs 3/4 of a kilo or about 1.5 pounds. But even at that, it's still lightweight and maneuverable, and I can absolutely use it without any problem for the time needed. Let me kind of give you a brief rundown. When I bought mine, it was not assembled, but the assembly is very, very simple. You literally just snap it on, and it's really that easy. Here you have the on and off switch. Very simple to use. Here, this other red switch is actually to remove the battery. Speaking of the battery, really it has the little rails there. You're gonna put it there, and one nifty thing about the battery is it has this on switch, and if you press the on, you can see how much battery you have remaining. To undo it, you just press the button here. And the air speeds for this model go from 170 to 250. When you turn it on, it just gives a little click. So the first speed is supposed to be running at 170, and then it goes all the way up to 250. And the lower speed gives you a lot of control. It allows me to dislodge dirt and debris in a controlled manner instead of blowing it all over the place. The high speed, on the other hand, gives you, of course, power, which allows you to work with small piles of leaves or heavier debris. Let me just be honest with you. Some of the photos you might have seen or videos online where people are blowing huge piles of heavy, wet leaves. Now, I'm not going to say that it's impossible, but it would take multiple battery charges and time to give you those results. Even with pine straw and other little bits, it really can take a lot of time to get a job done. When it comes to heavy jobs like blowing oak leaves or ash leaves and things like that, I always fall back on my gas-powered leaf blower in order to get those jobs done. Now on to the battery runtime. Now what you can see here is I just recharged the battery, and you'll see this. I'm going to press the on button and you can see all three of these light up, which means that the battery is full. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to turn this on high speed, and I'm going to time it so that we know exactly how long it will run at the highest speed. Let's try that. doesn't give you a lot of warning time. So that was start to finish running it at high. I started at 6:48 and it ran out of juice at 7:03, so that is 15 minutes. So at full power, I got 15 minutes out of it. Now this is on a machine that's over a year old now, so maybe the battery life has drained out a little bit. I never timed it when I first got the machine, but here it is after approximately 1 year. I got about 15 minutes of work time on a fully charged battery. So just kind of give you an idea. Usually I'm using a mix of the low speed for the corners and for the fine-tune work and the high speed, and usually I get about 25 minutes. Maximum half an hour, but really about 25 minutes is the most I get out of it. And now for the pluses and minuses regarding the Bosch ALB 36Li. Before, I used to waste so much time checking the fuel and trying to crank our temperamental gas leaf blower. Today I don't hesitate to grab the Bosch leaf blower anytime the terraces need a quick blowing off. Second, this leaf blower gives me top-notch control. With its tapered neck and simple adjustable speed, I can go from gently dislodging something to really directing the debris out of the way. The third plus is that it's low maintenance. No more messy, smelly fuel. I simply pop the battery in the battery charger when I finish it. It takes a little bit over an hour to charge it, and then it's ready for me to use the next time I want to use it. Last, it's very quiet. Let me show you the difference between this one and my gas powered blower. Now on to the minuses. The minuses are obvious. The battery is much shorter than I would like it to be at times, so either you have to take that break of an hour to let it charge, or you have to have a replacement battery, which, like I said before, is around 150 euros. Or in my case, what I often find myself doing is I'll actually use this one for certain jobs and I'll fall back on the gas-powered mower for other jobs. The second minus is that it's simply not powerful enough to efficiently do big jobs. So would I recommend it, and would I buy it again? The answer is a little bit twofold. So I'll start by saying that yes, I would buy it again. I've had mine for a little bit over a year. My terraces and the walkways around my house have never been so clean and tidy. And so overall, I've been satisfied with the hard surfaces around my house. So yes, I would buy it again, and I would recommend it for those purposes. On the other hand, I would not recommend it in the case where you have really intense jobs, such as a lot of trees, or if you have a really big garden and that is your only tool that you'll be using. As you saw from my example where I was demonstrating how it works with the pine straw, honestly it would have been much easier for me just to take a rake and rake that up than to spend 10 minutes kind of corralling everything into a small pile. So that's it. If this video has been helpful, don't forget to hit the like button down below, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you. Bye.